Wait, let's start recording. And they locked everything on the Soviet side and almost nothing for every other nation except Italy ever since they introduced, but didn't play much of it either. So when I recently got some interest in American planes from an historical point of view, it became kind of a necessity to go and unlock some in War Thunder as well. Also because of that friendly helping hand of a guy who is Nix, who always comes to the stream and comments, and he plays them all the time, and he's been speaking to me about how cool the American planes were. And in fact, I'm starting to agree with him, because even at tier 2 they make a lot of credits. They're easy to use, and especially in simulation mode, which is all I play really. Here it is, even another one unlocked. It makes a big difference. Okay, so yesterday I disconnected just as I had unlocked the Lightning, if I'm not mistaken. Here it is, the P-38. So let's put it into service, I guess. P-38 Lightning, interceptor roll. Ciao Riccardo, grazie per aver cliccato mi piace. Se mi commenti in italiano posso rispondere anche nella nostra lingua. So as I was saying, speaking with a fellow national, current vehicle, didn't I unlock this thing? I remember it wrong. I was sure I had unlocked it. Why? Tell you what, I'll just go and play. What am I researching at the moment? Nothing at all. Of course, because I just unlocked another thing. So research this, since I wanted it. And also the P40 is now almost fully upgraded. Same for the P400. Purchase, research. Yeah, go like this. 18,000 credits, that's nothing for us. Almost unification purchased. And let's see the reward of the day. Tomorrow's the big one. But still, we're getting... so that's why I wasn't able to put it into service. That was the research screen. But I was sure I had it unlocked. Here it is. So now I'm researching the next one too. Well, why not, I guess. And I wanted to put it into service in place of the P40. Yeah, this is the Kitty Oak, right? No, that's the War Oak. In place of this one. Go. No, I need 16,000. Well, we make them soon enough. Let's begin. I won't waste further time for all of us. Simulator battles. US planes. Go. Let's hope it gives me a nice mission, not like yesterday. When I started, it was put in a map with a thick fog. You could see almost nothing. It was really horrible to behold. And luckily, it seems that's not the case today. Okay, we played also this map yesterday. It was the second one. And it's really quite in topic, since I recently also bought the DLC with the Battle of Ruhr. Well, that is the Battle of Bodenplatte for Sturmovik. So it's nice to fly over this map again. I guess I'll pick... let's go with the P400. Yesterday it performed really well. Also give me more fuel, just to be sure. Universal ammo, that's very important. Also for the other gun, thank you. Makes a world of difference. I originally was using the standard ball ammo for these planes, and it really didn't do much damage, especially compared to this. This is really devastating. When you start to shoot a bomber, it catches fire almost immediately, and it's really satisfying to see. I can also spot some damage on our airfield. I guess someone crashed his own plane. It wouldn't be so difficult. The stream is working. Yeah, let's go. What do we have? We're also starting close to the battle. That's good. Do I carry... No, I don't carry bombs. I don't have them on this plane. Okay. And take off. So, what do we have? Destroyed enemy surveillance aircraft in E4. That's right ahead of me. I like convoy. Well, it's the only objective at the moment. I think it should be that thing isolated up in the sky, presumably. Also, maybe if I put this thing in the sweet spot, it's moved a bit since yesterday. Yeah, I like this. Much better. You have to be very careful about positioning the valve index. If it's off-center even just by a little, it tends to generate a really annoying flare all around what you're looking at, a reflex, so to say. Reflection, I mean. So, The glare, that's the word. It's a glare. In any case, it's gone. So, what do we have online? It's really an all-star mission. We have every faction possibly imaginable. China is also in the Axis now, apparently. And we are US, France, and Russia, of course. So. Also now an air objective has appeared, which is, by the way, right where I was heading. So let's go and check out what happens. I'm bound to meet the enemy real soon. And yesterday this plane has been quite a discovery. It looks very similar to the Ira Cobra I used to fly in Sturmovik, but apparently it's much more maneuverable. It turns really well and can easily beat in that regards even the more advanced BFs, at least the ones you meet at this earlier era. Probably if you go ahead with the Tech 3 it's different. So we're almost at the action, I guess. Some ground battle going. There always bound to be one. Some more objectives. Protect the convoy. Well, that doesn't pertain to us. We don't have ground weapons at the moment. I mean, destroying the convoy. But also protecting it seems a bit out of the way. At the moment it's the other way of the map. It has pretty good visibility. Tutto sommato. Could be worse. When bombing yesterday I went with my head like this, out of the canopy, because you don't look very well down under from this plane. But it kinda worked. Besides, that's our prerogative as VR players. We had some little advantage compared to the other people. The one being a magical disembodied head that goes even outside of the canopy. Maybe some people even lie on the ground so they can look under the plane itself. And now I just noticed, yeah, that's kind of funny. Have you seen how it went grey? That's because I forgot to turn on one of the sensors for the index. Wait a second, now you'll see something amazing, because I'm probably going to float in the air while reaching the sensor. Otherwise we're going to have bad tracking for the whole stream. Wait a second. Look at this. Now I'm working on the wing of the plane and the sensor is on. Good thing we don't have to reboot anything. Back to the seat. Wasn't too hard. Yes, it's coming on. You know how the index works, no? It has two sensors that are tracked by the headset, not the other way around like the Oculus. And it works fairly well even with just one, but in the end you're bound to notice. Okay, what do we have here? We're now above the objective, but it's no longer capturing, which means that probably there is an enemy about. Let's try to do a 360. These are also interesting. That's an airfield, but not one usable by players, because it's not on the map, you see. Unlike that one, which is from the enemy. And the three teams over there, at least two are probably the guarding AI planes, and the other, I presume, could be a player, but it's still far away. So I'll try to keep above the objective and possibly help with its capture. Also, we have to keep a close eye to whatever moves, because it's a fairly dangerous position, predictably. I guess I might as well investigate these guys. Let's see. They should be within the square. I'm not so sure, but they should be within the objective square. Ah, here you are. Here you are. That's probably an enemy. Could be really any of 3 dozen planes, since we have all nations in this battle. I won't even try to hazard an identification. Maybe until we're closer. Looks fairly grey. Usually grey planes are Germans, but it's not warranted by any means. Now I'm going almost straight up. I'll have to be careful, I'm below 200 km per hour. And finally it's coming a bit down. That's certainly an enemy, would have a label otherwise by now. And almost assuredly a player. AIs don't capture the zones. I see squarish wings, very forward in the fuselage shape. Still cannot try to identify. Certainly trying to put himself behind me, and apparently he's also managing to do it. I'd rather try to escape downward, gain some speed maybe. Doesn't look like the best of situation. Also because I don't know how much I can expect from this plane at such speeds. And now of course it's starting to shoot. Let's try to lower the flaps a bit. I think he's passing me now. Ah, there's a friend, good. There's a friend helping. So I guess that's the reason he left me. No, but unfortunately he damaged the engine. I'm now leaking something. I see he's still behind. Now I'm in trouble, I guess. Yeah, it's a German plane. I see the yellowing under the wings. But unfortunately I guess I'm going down. There isn't much I can do. Okay, not the strongest beginning to the stream. No, I'm definitely going down. Taking a nice little bath. Let's see if I can jump out in time. Yeah. Well, I was killed by a Key 44. What the heck is that? I don't know that plane. It was strong in any case. Okay, I guess this is our signal for taking out the trusty bison again. No, I mean the buffalo. I always mix the buffalo with the bison. This one's really fun to use in VR because of the scope. It was quite a discovery, really, because you tend to hate the iron sights at first in VR, having the need to actually align your eyes with them, unlike the reflex that always works. I mean, the reflex aiming sight. But when you get used to it, and getting used essentially it means stopping to center your visual with your view. I mean, centering your view with the button is wrong at that point. You have to actually move your head. But when you start doing it, you really feel inside the plane, and also you can look through the scope physically, not just by pressing a button, and that makes you feel quite inside of the plane's cockpit. So let's see if we can improve this not very good record yet. Fortunately, he was going much faster than me. The Key 44. Should check what that thing is. Yeah, the very tall chimneys of the fine city of Duisburg, which apparently was quite heavily industrialized at the time, or at least this seems to be Gaijin's opinion. Gaijin being the developer of this game, if you don't know. And now, unfortunately, the surveillance aircraft has despawned. I'll try to go back to the objective. Also, maybe I should go higher, even though this plane climbs very well. But better safe than sorry, as they say. These are also interesting. Let's see if I can point the scope at them. It's not easy, but sometimes it helps you a great deal with identifying the things. You have to try and acquire a frame of reference. These guys could be the city. Maybe a bit more to the right, I guess. This is the top of the trees. The lake is too high. No, today it isn't working. We'll be able to tell by sight soon enough if it's friend or foe. Hey Nix, good day. I knew you'd be coming. I haven't had much luck yet. I just came online and was shot down by a Key 44. Do you know what a Key 44 is, by the way? I was trying to tell the viewers, but unfortunately I don't know that plane. Yeah, indeed it is. We're against half the nations in the game. It's a bomber, I guess. Let's increase our speed. Should be able to see it in the scope. Yeah, that looks very German to me. It's so greyish and German looking. Let's try to approach it as fast as possible so he won't have as much time to destroy me with the rear gun. So smoke. Now I'm aiming mostly with the tracer, which is a bit wrong to tell the truth. But I hit him. He's trying to defend himself. Let's see if we can get him quicker. No. Still no. I go backwards. And now accelerate. Let's hope I can. It's hardy. I'm risking too much. Wait a second, maybe I'll bring him with me. Well, I broke one engine, I set fire to the other, so I guess he's probably also dying. Should be the first kill. I also died again, but I did get the kill, yes. So we're starting to score a little. That's a Russian SB-2M. It's a Japanese plane. Ah, the key. So that was my first meeting with a Japanese from an US plane. Let's go to something else. I guess I'll pick the one that yesterday I enjoyed so much. Let's go back to it. It's also rated more highly. This is the plane I use for killing all these Stukas in the end, isn't it? I don't remember now. Maybe Nix will know. He's got much more of an eye than me. For American planes, I've been playing this for only some weeks. Yeah, it's gone down. You have a bit of a delay, we know. And let's see what else we have. So we're at 2 deaths, 1 kill. I'll have to improve this. The aiming sight is much better on this. At least it's easier to use. You cannot do all these nice tricks with the scope, but it's less important than hitting the enemy, I guess, in the end. The bomber was a player, by the way. That's the reason the rear gun turned not so effective. He probably gone and controlled it himself. I actually have doubled my surface controls. My control surface is inputs, I mean, on the throttle, so I can go and man the gun with the right hand when I'm playing a plane that warrants it, which is not the case with the American ones I haven't unlocked yet. Yeah, it's not just that, it seems also very powerful, maybe it's just my idea, but these cannons, are they Hispano guns? They certainly look like. 4 of these are bound to pack quite a punch. Plus I guess also a machine gun or two, to say the least. Maybe will tell me if I go and check here. No, you can see the plane's blueprint from here. So I see 3 people up ahead. Am I carrying bombs now? Ah yes, this is the plane that overheated so easily. Here's the radiator opening. He does it by himself, unfortunately. Look at that, looks like a flower. It opens when you ease your speed. It's kind of strange really, because it shouldn't it open when I increase the speed. It's the other way around. I think you can control the radiator yourself. Yeah, 30 and 50 caliber in War Thunder, but I never set the balance. Well, it is powerful in any case. But you have to keep an eye on the engine. It's very easy to overheat. Almost happened twice yesterday. They carry bombs, no. I want some bombs to drop on the enemy, what the hell? This is the deserted airfield, I guess. Yeah, I don't know who is supposed to control it, it's completely empty. We're almost at the action again. Maybe today we'll also play some jets from the Soviet nation, possibly in the later part of the season. I should be able to go for longer today, without interruptions. You see how it's overheating, I wasn't even going full speed. Well, one should really try to understand and read the instruments in the plane itself when playing in VR. It's so easy to cheat by looking up there that you end up doing it all the time. Okay, I see 3 potential targets. Plus the devious bridges that the guy yesterday passed under, resulting in me breaking my wings because he was flying a tiny plane, whereas mine had normal-sized wings, and I bumped them on the river banks, destroying myself. I'll try not to do it today again. This is another bomber. Looks, is it Chinese? No, the Chinese are on outside, I believe. Probably Russian. Again bomber, all bombers. No, wait a second, I'm not going to approach it the same way, it didn't work well the other time. I'll have to overfly him and try to go fast enough. Also, this is probably player controlled, so I better not run into its rear gun's firing arc. That will be a problem because I'm already overheating, as this plane tends to do very easily, and so I don't know when I'll be able to catch up. It's also already damaged the engine, by the way, with a single shot. I guess the engine is very exposed in this plane. And now I see a fighter. Looks like a fighter at least. No, it's still him, Never mind what I said, it's the bomber, okay. I'm trying to... I would get off and push if I could. This thing is so slow against that bomber. Probably the engine is not upgraded yet. I haven't unlocked this plane for long. Won't be able to catch up. I won't, unless... no, he's probably going to bomb the objective we are right in front, I guess. So he's bound to come back after he does it. Let me see the map. Yeah, it's 1 square distance. He's still trying to shoot me, even though I'm out of range. So he really hates me, I guess. That's understandable. How's the temperature of the engine? It's in yellow. Never goes below yellow in the Kitty Oak. I mean the oak. This is the oak, right? The Kitty Oak is another one. Now, if my theory is correct, he will soon do his attack run and I'll be able to catch up. But if he doesn't stop here, then I guess I'll have to go somewhere else because the pursuit isn't going to work. It's faster than me, by far. So that's another lesson learned. In the earlier tiers, fighters aren't always faster than bombers. No, but he's attacking, you see. Here it is. He's going to bomb the target. Now, of course, we will only try to stop him after he's already done the deed, but at least we'll punish him, I guess. Also, I hope. I'll try to anticipate his turn. Now, there's another guy. Good. He's going to shoot the other guy while I attack him from the front. No, didn't have any luck. Now he's shooting me again. He really hates me. Let's hope he doesn't steal the kill. I've been chasing you for longer, man. Leave me the score. But the way it looks, he could even be the one ending up destroyed. Yeah, I know, but it's all I'm seeing. I see the bombers. I have to chase the bomber. I'm a simple man. I see the bomber. I want to kill the bomber. Here you are. Here you are. Yes. I like the sound of that. I like the sound of that also. Now he seems to be no longer shooting from the rear gun. But we're 2 on 1, come on. Should be able to bring down this goddamn blasted enemy bomber. And I guess you're dead. You see the nice feeling of satisfaction you get from destroying a bomber, Nix? I cannot disregard this feeling. I love it. So, what do we have now? 1600 points. We're starting to climb the ranks. Let's see what else we have around. How's my ammo? The thing I like about American planes, they carry a lot of ammo. I still have over 1400 rounds for one of the set of weapons. The other just 190. But it's, I believe, still enough for a dogfight or two, depending on what I meet. Okay. Cover the surveillance aircraft. No, I'm not going to cover anything. I want to destroy. Protect the light attackers. Destroy the enemy convoy, but I don't have bombs. Let's see that big formation over there. I guess it's the attackers. But also there's an isolated team there. That could be an intercepting enemy. I mean, in the end, what is the fighter's job? To take down the bomber. Otherwise, you're acquiring air superiority, but you're not defending, you're not helping the people on the ground, which are the ones that actually capture points and win the battle. I know it's just a game, but you're meant to take it more seriously. At least it feels immersive that way. Okay, I will. Thank you for the idea. Also, I would actually enjoy to put into service the lightning. I guess we'll do it next battle. Usually earn a lot of credits from these low tier battles. That's also another thing to keep in mind when playing more than one nation at a time, and I tended to disregard it. But now that I have the 5th era unlocked in Russia, I'm better playing these to earn money. I made more than 200,000 credits since I began playing the American side again. You only lose money at the higher tiers, that's typical of this kind of game. But god, this thing is slow. It's slow. I've been chasing that guy for how long? 5 minutes. We'll eventually catch him, I guess. Starting now to take a bit more shape. So, where are we going? We're heading towards a ground battle, a big one in fact. And the base isn't too far, in case I'll have to resupply. It's not a wrong strategy. Let's see if I can reach that guy. I guess by its direction, it's probably could be a friend, unfortunately. Because it's coming from this side of the map. Yeah, thank you Nix for doing the honors of the house. Is it how you say it in English? It's a very Italian expression, I think, when you're being kind to people coming to your place. You say you're paying honors. I guess I'll reach him if he lands. If he lands in the middle of the wood clearings. Here they come, the attacker planes are doing the runs. Bombing, I guess. Yeah, we're on the side of the enemy tanks. And that's indeed probably an enemy interceptor, because I see it's accelerating and putting itself behind. This is also a player disguised between all the other attack planes. So I'm pointing at that team, the one smaller over there. It seemed to be positioning itself in a way that could be the beginning of an attack. Let's see if I'm correct. Should be him. And never mind. Oh, they said I either lost him, or maybe it's that one actually. Well, I'll follow the attack planes in any case. Don't forget to follow those who haven't. Thank you, Nix. Follow also Nick's channel. He plays a lot of War Thunder. He's extremely good. He plays simulation mod like me. There aren't many of us, I'm afraid. Especially on Facebook. I haven't seen many streams like this. Or is one, really. But judging by the player base, not many people play this mod in general. But it's really the only one that makes sense in VR. When you think about it, if you're playing with mouse and keyboard, you don't feel really immersed in the playing. And if I could, I probably also play arcade from time to time, but playing, you might know it if you tried. Playing arcade with HOTAS, with the joystick and pedals, is almost impossible, because you're against people that basically don't even have to pilot their planes. They just point the mouse cursor and they click, and you die. You take much longer to aim with the joystick. Some people manage to, but they're incredibly good, in my opinion, and it's not standard in any case. Also, you're at a disadvantage in tank battles for the purpose of identifying enemies, although that's a bit less true with the newer headsets like the Index, because the higher resolution hurts a lot. Okay, we're now escorting these guys. They don't seem to need any escort, but I guess we better. I see tracers in there, but I do see tracers in there, and presumably they don't all come from the ground. Let's investigate the shape over there, while gracefully doing a cross-screen maneuver, just because why not. This guy, I guess, should be an attacker, but let's check it. The label check is positive, okay, friendly. There's a lot more movement over there. It's been a bit boring battle compared to yesterday up to now, but I guess it will change eventually. We can always move to another one if it doesn't. Our side is easily winning, by the way. That's also nice. And now they're heading back to base. No, I'm not going back to base. I don't want to. No air objectives. No intercept objectives. Only some bombers. Now, if at least I had bombs, but I don't even care with these. Let's check that team. That's certain from an immersion standpoint, but it's also kind of an advantage in my opinion. It's much more natural to look around with your own side. Although I think probably the most advantageous way to play Flight Simulator is a track ER. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's a technology that actually tracks the movements of your head. You're supposed to place a sensor on a hat, or maybe even glue it to your forehead, and that's tracked by the system, and you can look around and it's shown on the monitor. I say it's probably better because you don't just have a higher resolution for the purpose of identifying planes, but you can also zoom. That's a big problem with flight simulations in VR. Some allow for it. Like DCS, you can zoom however you want. Strumovic has a limited zoom functionality in VR, and this one game doesn't have it at all, and it's a big mistake because they're afraid it could cause nausea, but in my case it doesn't, by the way. Here's another bomber. But zooming is essential when other people can do it and you can't. You're at a great disadvantage, because you never know really what you are attacking. Well, in this case I could know if I could identify, I guess, Japanese planes, because that one has a Japanese insignia on it. You see, Nix, I keep having to attack bombers because, not because I want it, but there is nothing else. I only need bombers. Now my chat window is conveniently covering the enemy, but then again I cannot disable the overlay. Let's try not to be such an easy target. These turrets pack quite a punch. My engine is overheating, but that's normal to the... By now I guess it's warranted. I guess that's the pain of inline engines. The radial Bison is much different in that regard. Okay, he's hitting me. And now it's the same situation as before, because this is a fire cannot catch bomber. It seems like counterintuitive by far, but yet that's where we stand. You either go straight for them or you have to play the catch-up game, just like before. But we found an enemy, I guess, so I better follow him. I keep the engine to the max, but I already know it's going to overheat real soon and I'll have to close the throttle. So probably our chance will come when eventually he attacks a target. And he's shooting again. That's definitely a player manning the turret. AI wouldn't have done it. It's indeed less tiring, yes. But you get used to it. You get used eventually. Now, VR does nothing to me. You can play it for hours on end. But it's also mostly a performance thing. If your computer is struggling, if you go above the overhead, and that's the reason, by the way, I always keep a diagnostic over here. If this graph starts turning yellow or even red, then you know you're going to feel sick really soon. You can't notice very easily when you are having horrible performance in VR. The only thing you notice is that you start feeling ill. Because lack of frames, even if compensated by the technology these headsets have, the so-called reprojection, still hurts your sense of balance a little. I don't know how to explain. It's like watching reality through a lens that distorts it. Really hurts your eyes. After even a little while, you have to keep a very close eye on VR's performance. Here's my chance. Let's hope he doesn't aim too well with the VR gun. And shoot. One engine's not yet on fire, but now it is, and now it's finished, I guess. Yes, I keep firing. In any case, I'll have to resupply after this one. Yeah, let's set fire to both engines, I guess. It's more spectacular that way. And that's the second kill of the day. Ah, you're right, Nix, but by now, he's not going to get cover in time. And here's another bomber. That was a Japanese bomber, right? It had the red sun on the wings. Did it disappear into thin air? I guess the player reset. He respawned. Too bad, because he took from us the spectacular sight of his frame hitting the ground. So now I better resupply. I'm very heavily damaged. Well, not that heavily, but the engine's definitely having some leaks. And also, I'm almost out of ammo. Let's go back to base. It's not far. Here's Duisburg with the chimneys. Also, the thing I like more in Sturmeric, the cities, not only are they bigger, they also planned the chromatic part, the colors of them better, so they stand out more. I guess German buildings could be brown in theory, but it's almost impossible to see it from far away, which seems wrong in a way. At least in a video game, you should be able to tell where the cities are. Here you mostly spot the industrial zone, and the rest of the quarters are almost unseeable from far. You have to try it. You have to try it. It completely transforms this kind of games. This is probably the real killer application for VR right now, flight simulators. Also, driving games are very enjoyable, but as you know, I kinda suck at them, so in the end I always come back to this. There are some games that are absolutely, in my idea, top-notch in VR, and the best gaming experience you can have right now, bar none. And it's kind of a myth, the thing that goes around that you have to spend huge amounts of money for VR. It mostly depends on what you want to do. War Thunder, for instance, is playable even with not the strongest system, and I played it for a lot of time with the Oculus CV1. That was definitely a very first gen headset with a lower resolution. It was still a lot of fun, really. You don't feel anything wrong when you're playing like that. You lower the details to the minimum, but it's so much cooler in any case. I guess even a Nintendo 64 game would look awesome in VR. It's completely transformed the experience of gaming, to a point where many people that have started to feel tired with it, like probably I had, now play even more than before, as soon as they try it. And let's start again. Hey, there's a guy keeping us company, a guy from Brazil. Enjo Danoit. He's the guy that almost stole my kill earlier. He's also an ace, apparently. Flying an MB-15-2C1. What's that, Nix? I don't know that plane. I guess it could be... The name doesn't seem British. Maybe it's a French plane by the name. Yeah, they seem to like numbers in their naming convention. He's also got a French name, so that's a likely giveaway. Despite being Brazilian, apparently. I don't know if I want to keep formation flight with him. That's something better done with France usually. Yeah, it's French, so I guessed correctly. Let's see how the plane looks. I don't know that plane. I seem to be... Well, of course, I'm not faster than him, but we go about the same speed. Maybe he's not going full throttle, because this seems to be the slower fighter in the air at this point. It's a fairly big plane. It almost looks like a ground attack team. I absolutely don't know it. It's overcomplicated, of course it's French. Yeah, French people tend to overcomplicate sometimes. No, I cannot even reach him at full throttle because I'm flying the much feared Hawk. Veritable slot of the sky. Let's see the objectives. Discover the coast servant. Destroy the attackers. That's what I'm looking for. Discover the attackers in E6. Here they are. And also I think the French guy is going to turn for the objective. Or maybe he won't. Then again, who knows what passes through his mind. Now the label is gone, but it's still there. Disappearing over the horizon. I'll try to gather some altitude. They're coming my way, so that's good also. I guess after this battle we could start finally unlocking tier 3 planes. And that's where the game is the most fun, really. Also 4 is okay, but the jets are different. I don't know about the jets. They're fun to play most of the times, but it's a different type of gameplay. Sometimes it's strangely enough, it seems lower, because even though you go at about 800, 900 kilometers per hour, you end up chasing people around for so long. Whereas in the older eras, you dogfight at shorter range, it's more engaging in a way. Yeah, the Hawk is indeed not fast. So how do I force them? That's the real question. I guess you have to surprise them in most situations. I'll try to achieve something similar. The main reason I keep selecting this is that I like the guns. It makes for really a great bomber hunter, and it's paid off up to now today, since we had so many bombers in the match. What is that? What is that? Let's go for a steep dive. I want to know if it's an enemy. Seems likely. It's also flying very low, presumably has problems. Let's see. Let's hope he didn't notice me, because it's a nice, very nice chance. Now I have much more energy. Accelerate to the max. He's also damaged. Yeah, that looks like a Japanese plane, I guess. I hit him a bit more, and now I think he's going down. Apparently not. He's one of these guys that like flying down in the river when they are attacked. I don't know why. Maybe they feel some kind of attachment to fishes and the like. I better be careful, because now maybe I came too much. I'm exposing myself. Okay, he's going slow, he's already damaged, but you never know. He could be a good pilot and try to improve the situation. Did I hit him? I think not. Lower the flaps now. I guess nothing goes slower than a Hawk. You're really asking for it, my man. My god, maybe a bit too slow. What are you doing, man? He's going to crash, he's going to crash. Did I get the points? No. He didn't get the points because he crashed himself. That really sucks. Yeah, the flaps are lower than. Too bad he took his own life. Very Japanese of him. He committed seppuku. It happens so often in this game. They seem to really hate you, so to a point that they don't want you to score. Ah, it was a Henker. Came through my mind for a moment. It was a Henker. Yeah, it was a good fight. Too bad I didn't score for it. Now here are the ground attack planes. He was Japanese to the very end, even if he was piloting a German plane. Actually, I believe seppuku is the more correct term. Some people say harakiri, but harakiri is a bit disrespectful, I've heard. Japanese language is often like that. You have to be somewhat indirect to what you're referring to. That's a Stuka! Yes, the Stuka! I love shooting the Stuka. Stuka. They're quite hardy. Quite hardy indeed. I wonder if he's going down. Let's take this other one. Stuka. By the sound I've heard, I think he's gone down. But now also I'm missing a very, very important sound, which is the one of my engine. Let's get us another Stuka before I go down. Can do nothing about it, even though I'm soon losing speed because the engine, you see, it's very off at the moment. I wasn't going fast to begin with. I might as well shoot my entire compartment of ammo. No need to save it, since I'm going down in any case. But we're at 4 kills, so it's not all bad. Now I'll have to crash land. You never know when they break your engine. I'll change plane now. Let's see what else we can field. Is this the sound of another? Yeah, it's indeed the Stuka going down, so now we have 5 kills. Good, all things considered. 3 of them players. I don't know, these things seem really, really hardy, even more so than the Sturmwijk. I don't know if it's historical. I believe the Sturmwijk was called the tank of the air, but these are also very tank-like. I also landed right by a friendly ground emplacement, so I guess that saved my butt at least. And shipped me back to base, presumably in a nicely packed envelope. At least I didn't lose my life. So what can we use now? I guess it's the time. It's the time to get once more in the cabin of the famous Corsair. This is a plane that, in my opinion, feels more at ease over the sea. I don't know, I see it so bird-like, so much. It seems to be designed for airplane carriers, and yet it has interesting flying characteristics. It climbs very well, that's the main thing I noticed. But probably there are more strong points to it. It seems to be a Spitfire that you're supposed to die for the enemy. So that's also another thing to keep in mind. Let's take off. Yeah, the gun sight wouldn't be as big a problem if I hadn't to use it in VR. VR is difficult. Is there a plane that has similar armament to that one but uses a better gun sight? Maybe in Tier 3 Unlimited. And now this is a bigger plane, takes longer to accelerate. That's to be expected, I guess. I should be faster than the Hawk, I hope. Now going 300. Main thing of the Buffalo is that it turns so well. It turns really well. For being so low tier at least. My god. Just a second. I was scratching my forehead and the entire mask interface of the headset came off. It's held by magnets, you see. And now back to the mission. Forehead scratched and all. Where are we going? 400, so it's already faster than before. Let's accelerate more and go higher. Ah, there was an air objective. I wish I noticed sooner, but I was still in time to catch it. Above Gelsenkirchen. Back to work, okay. Bye Nick, see you later. There's a lot of action over there, but I still point at the objective personally. By the way, I think I'll utilize the occasion to lower the chat window a bit, because being so tall it covers the action a bit too much. I believe it's this slider. Yeah, maybe a bit more to the right. Should be better. Or so I hope. Let's see the outcome. Yeah, seems better indeed. I also can read the script better like this. I'll probably keep it like this. Oh, wait a second, there's an enemy. No, he has zero visibility in the back. That's not going to help. Now, which was of these things I see? Ah, no, it's going back down, I believe. That should be him. No, never mind. That would have been too good. Here you are. Seems like a smaller agile plane could be a problem from this hulking thing. Let's try to accelerate. I think I can be faster than him. It's maneuvering well. And there's a friend, but it's not a player. We're still making worry a bit, so it's good. Probably will make the difference I need. Let's hope so, but now he's doing nothing, he's gone the other way. Stupid AI. That's better, that's a real player. Okay, we should win this now, we're 3-1. As soon as he tries to put himself behind me, that guy is getting it. Yeah, he got him indeed. I'm also straining my neck just like a real pilot. Imagine if I got injured like this. I could say, yeah, it was during the war of 2019. Okay, I think they got him. I saw him being hit. So thank you, Yasuhiro, and what was the other guy name? I don't know. Thank you. Kindly, because I think he would have got me. Sure hope that's not the enemy. Let's check the label. Okay, he's the guy that killed me. Lex Logo. I think he would have killed me 100%. So, I believe this is an ambush fighter in the air. You cannot really turn well in a corsair, that's to be expected, it's so big. Let's keep heading for the objective. So apparently this is Essen, looks exactly like Duisburg. Maybe it's true in real life also. Same exact industrial zone, same exact layout and houses. But I mean, it's an older game, you can expect some imperfections from the graphics point. Still one of the funniest experiences you can have in VR. Lex Logo doesn't seem very interesting in the objective, I'd still go for it. I try to gather altitude, seems to be the strongest suit of this plane. Now we're capturing the objective. 1/4. about 1/3. Feels a bit silly flying over the objective like this, because in reality what would you be doing? Yet it's worth doing it for the score and helping the team. But wait a second, I see teams that are chasing one another. One of them is almost assuredly an enemy. Yeah, it's shooting, so now it's certain. Let's try to employ an ambush tactic, since when it comes to a turning fight, this thing is not going to win. I'm going to bet on the leftmost guy. He was the one shooting in any case, so if he's the enemy, I better go and help them as soon as possible. I guess I'll be on him very fast. Let's hope I don't overfly. That's the friend, that's an EL2 friend. Now I don't know where the other guys are, so it's bad. Here's one. He's the enemy, I guess. Yeah, very slow going at the moment. And this is going to be a problem, because I'm not in alignment. And I don't think I can do the usual tight maneuvering. Yeah, he's also on the ground now. Look at the shots for the EL2 exploding on the ground like that. Okay, they got him by themselves. Let's go back to the jetty and hope we are in time to capture it. But still a cool engagement, even if I didn't take part in it, I guess. I go and check these two things. Now I'm very low, unfortunately. I wanted to stand up high. The zone is captured and I lost the points. This sucks. I wanted to help someone. Why did I have to get punished for it? No, this is Gelsenkirchen. You wouldn't tell it because it looks absolutely the same as Duisburg and Bochum, except for the river, I guess. At least it's got a river in the middle. And also some angry guys shooting from the houses, rooftops, with an MP40 and similar small weapons, since they don't seem to be achieving absolutely anything, much to my luck. This is full enemy territory. Now we're heading towards the convoy, but I don't carry bombs. Still, I guess these could be enemies. Maybe even AI control moving towards the convoy. We'll have to go and check. This isn't as low as the Oak, by the way. We're going almost 500 now, so it won't take long. Try and go back upwards. We're keeping, of course, an eye on them. These are flags coming from the ground. Good thing the anti-air artillery seems to have shit aim in this game almost everywhere, except over the enemy airfield. Be very careful if you overfly the enemy airfield, because they're going to completely wreck you in like seconds. So that's a friend bombing the convoy at the moment. And another thing, I guess, is either someone doing the same or an enemy trying to intercept him. Let's go and check. No, but he's being shot at by the convoy, so they're both friendlies. I might even strafe a bit these guys, I guess. But they must be lightly armored. I wouldn't want to waste ammo on them. Let's see what we are. It's a column of vehicles. Maybe I'll do a single pass on it. I don't want to waste all my ammo. It's not really this plane's job, but since I'm here, I mean. I will do exactly what he's doing and go towards, follow the road in a way, and try to destroy at least one. Will be also already damaged, so it's bound to be a little easier. I can clearly see the smoke. There's another guy though. That's a third plane. Let's hope it's not an enemy. Are we all attacking the convoy right now? And of course they have the bombs. I don't think I did any serious damage. Might as well do it, I mean, There are no enemies inside. I'm also offering some protection to them, just in case an enemy fighter comes. This guy apparently is an esports master, so maybe he's the one protecting me. And look at his bombs, never misses a target. What would you expect from an esports champion? The city apparently has no name, very conveniently, since it looked the same as the other one. Maybe they call it the third city from the left. And here comes the convoy again. Maybe like this. But the trees don't help. The trees don't help the mothers at all. Cannot see them well enough to strafe. Wait a second, I see... No, it's covered the bombers. It's not destroy the bombers, I'd like to destroy the bombers. Well, let's go back to something more productive, and this isn't really the Corsair's job. Judging by the sound, they got one. No, never mind that. That's Lex Logo, the so-called Sportmaster, that apparently got a bit of a target fixation case and ended up crashing into the trees. Well, not that I missed that happenstance by so far, but still I managed to avoid at the very last moment. It's not easy to strafe when the tanks are among trees like that, so I guess it's an error that can happen to anyone. And also the reason I actually left them, seems like a pointless endeavor in any case with this plane. So that way is an enemy airfield, so I can see the two automatic guardsmen of it. It's a couple of AI planes. Are usually pretty easy to destroy, but you have to watch out for the ground artillery, because as I said, over the enemy airfield is the only place where they always hit you. Also, that one seems closer. Possibly could be, I guess, an enemy. We're in enemy territory now, and he's heading leftward, so I guess it's going towards our bases. Let's see if it's indeed a threat. Now going 400, quickly accelerating. It's nice having finally a worthy engine under our wings. We need supremacy. D3. Okay, we also have an objective, but still I would head for that guy. Apparently he's heading the opposite way. Now let's go for the objective. Kinda sucks that he's always giving me this map. I actually would have preferred to play sea missions. I'd like taking off from the aircraft carrier. Me being a Soviet pilot for so long, it's a completely new experience for me. It looks very cool when you take off from the carrier. Actually surprised me the first time it happened. Didn't think War Thunder had that. No, the objective is that way, by the way. It's a big formation of friendly bombers, I guess. Apparently not threatened at the moment. Yeah, it's definitely a slower match compared to yesterday. Only 5 kills by now. I had like twice as much. But I guess that's also part of the game. I'm slightly overheating. I wonder if it's... No, I think it should be a radial engine. By judging by the configuration of the radiator, it should be radial, so it cools very fast. You just close the throttle a little and you're good to go. Now we're on the objective. Ciao! I'm capturing. Still no enemies. Wait a second. That's interesting. The sound of the engine is a bit strange. Why the sound is so different? Yet it's not overheating or damage, no. So maybe it's just a game thing. Okay, that's the Brazilian guy with the French plane, or the French plane from France with a Brazilian flag in any case, that we saw taking off earlier. Ciao! One third of the capture bar. Now we're going to switch match after this one. It's a boring match really. We're winning it, mind you, but nothing happens. Maybe it's the player number. And yet it's the same map as yesterday. Everyone seems to be way less active. I see a rocket hitting the ground. That's look good. That looks interesting. It's the year 2 from before, okay, once more attacking ground troops. Sometimes playing simulation mode is like going for a hunt in the woods. The animals just don't show up. No matter what, you end up flying in circles pointlessly for hours. We better go somewhere else. Hi Michael, hi, and sorry if you wrote it, I moved the chat window a bit so I didn't notice you're writing, because it covered a bit. Yes, I can look at the chat. It's a program called, I never remember the name. I'll have to check it. Come on. I don't remember the name. You can get it on Steam. It doesn't cost much. It's called OVR Drop, and lets you essentially superimpose any kind of window you want to the VR gameplay. It has a lot of options. Actually, you can put it even on your control. It's like it was some kind of futuristic clock you look at, and it's used for many things, not just streaming. People, for instance, display actually the stream of others or even a TV channel so they can watch it while they play something that is a bit boring or long-winded, like Euro Truck Simulator, I don't know. Maybe even Elite Dangerous sometimes can be like that. So you have additional entertainment in the virtual space, so to say. In my opinion, it's a worthy buy. I'm running 2 overlay on top of the game actually. One is that, and also FPS VR, this little window over here that tells me about the systems overhead and how the game is running. Also the temperature. We're going above 84 degrees by the way. I hope my GPU doesn't cook. So I guess now I'll switch server. This map sucks. I don't know what makes it so sucky today, while it was so much more fun yesterday, but nothing happens. And I got a bit bored. Tell you what, I land first, so I don't get penalized for it, since the base is right in front of me. And then we go play. Let's go play the jets. Era 5 Soviet jets. So at least the downtime will be shorter. That's bound to happen, I guess. It's the same exact map as yesterday. Yesterday was action non-stop. Today I meet nothing. So I guess it's the sign we gotta. What did I do? I broke the flap. Yeah, I even wrote it on the video description today, so I guess it was bound to happen eventually. I always lower the flaps too soon, but they're so fragile, I don't know. By the way, I'm going quite fast. But in good alignment, so it shouldn't be a problem. It always looks better when you land before switching server. Yeah, I'm going very, very fast. Probably run out of a runway. Look how it bounces. Come on. Yeah, practice. I'm touching the ground when the runway is over. And now I guess I better put the plane sideways. And maybe it was a bit of a hard landing, yeah. Yeah, I could have done it better. Repair is not available. Maybe it would have been better if I just left the server. In any case, let's do it nonetheless. My place in the team was third, but I was also bored to death, so let's play something different. I'm going to earn on it in any case, probably also very well. And I will put into service the lightning, lest I forget it again, because the next time I play the Americans I want to have it. And it was, if I'm not mistaken, now I'm also unlocking another one, I don't know why I made a mistake earlier. And I'll put it in place of the P400, I guess. Now I have the money, of course. Okay. And here it is. The P38. Finally I'll be able to fly it. But now let's do something quickly paced and fly the jets. No, not in arcade. In simulation mode, please. Starting now. That's even better. I also recently purchased the final module I missed for the LA-15, the cover, that apparently improves the aerodynamics by quite a bit. Let's see how it performs. I also don't have much money, so if I start breaking my planes because I put that one into service, if I break my plane I'm going to be in trouble. I'll have to win from the get-go. Let's hope it goes like that. Okay, what map is this? I see snow. I see a lot of snow. I'll have to wait for the mission to download. And here we are. Where's the cursor? Where's the cursor of the mouse? Here it is. Why did they have to make it all so big? Tell you what, I'll try different ammo. Let's go for the one for air targets. Fragmentation, incendiary, armor piercing. I want to see how it performs. It also costs more, so I guess it's bound to be better. These are incendiary stealth, so I guess they don't have a tracer. No, let's go for air targets. LA-15. Taking off from, well, it makes less of a difference when you can go so fast, but let's take off from D1. Also, a big problem with the later tiers is that the enemy tends to always attack the bases, so it's safer to start from here. Ah, it's nice to be back in something really powerful. Listen to the sound of this beast. Fully upgraded, finally. Lavochkin 15, playing from the 50s, I believe. So I don't know if you're familiar with this era of War Thunder, but it's got very different gameplay, as I was saying. You actually chase people for longer in general, but then combat happens in a flash. As soon as you're close, one salvo and they're basically destroyed in pieces. Makes for some fairly spectacular sequences. Let's hope it turns out like that. These are all the friendly planes. I believe mostly bots at this point. Yeah, it just began, but more people will join. Now we're already going 380. This is a plane that is supposed to stay low until it accelerates to maximum speed. When you're about 700, 800, then you start going upwards. It's a completely different story from the things that were going about 300 plus maximum. Look at this, we're already halfway through the map. Now going 580. The sun in our eyes conveniently doesn't seem to produce any kind of glare. I don't know why, but I appreciate it. These are friendlies, I believe, but in any case I'll follow. Now 680. That was at the point where I can shoot upwards, I gain altitude. 720. And accelerate to the max, I guess. Let's get to 800, then I pull the stick. 760, 770. And 800, let's go upwards towards the blue skies. 1000, 1005. It's like piloting a rocket compared to before. 2000, 400 is as low as I want to go in terms of speed, so I'll turn back towards the ground, because also there seems to be already a battle going. Now back to 500. Yeah, they're shooting indeed. It's a shooty situation. Now, as always, you have to take a bet on which is the enemy. So epic, flying at 800 km per hour, while only utilizing machine guns and cannons. Basically, you still don't have rockets or missiles on this plane. Here you are. It's probably an enemy, I guess. The labels tend to come out earlier in later eras because combat is so more far away. Never mind what they said, it's a friendly. You can almost assuredly not identify them by sight in this mode. Almost impossible, in fact. And that one is bombing something. Are we above friendly objective? Yeah, then it's probably an enemy. Let's go and punish him for his arrogance. Try to slow down a little. What happened? What? I exceeded my airspeed. I just exceeded my airspeed and their airplane broke its elf. This really sucks. First time it happens to me, actually. I know it could. I was so fixated on that thing. You see how dangerous it is. And I exceeded the airspeed, which is about 930, 940. And I guess you have to take it very seriously in this plane. Because you see what can happen. Good thing we won't waste much time to be back at the action site. What a disappointing outcome. I swear I won't do it again. Also because it costs quite a bit in this game to be that silly. All I had to do was close the throttle a little. Maybe open the air brake. I said no, I'll go to slow down only after I kill the target. And that was ultimately my downfall. Oh, the bombers win air supremacy. Okay, let's go towards the objective. These are the bombers we're supposed to cover. Briskly accelerating again. What a failure on my part. I will never regret it, at least for the next time, until the end of the stream. Now already at 500. Let's try and not do the same thing. What are these? They're probably the friendly bombers. F1 it says. Well, not likely actually. So maybe it's an air show, I guess. People going in circles without purpose. And these are possibly two guys chasing one another. No, it's probably the friendly planes guarding the airfield. I will let them be. Heading towards the objective now. It's a real danger, a real constant danger in these planes to exceed the airspeed. They were, basically the engines were as powerful as the ones we have now, maybe even more powerful in some respects. And yet you have an airframe that is made from materials available in the 50s, 60s. So if you exceed your airspeed, you're bound for big trouble. Now, having played the earlier tiers for a while, I forgot it. Now we're capturing the objective. And also following a guy that could potentially be an enemy. We're at 800, by the way. Look at the arrow moving through the map. And this time I'll keep an eye on the speed. Because you see how it starts to vibrate. That's already not a good sign. Let's close the throttle. Yeah, I'm passing the speed. You see it's shown in red. I'm at Mach 0.75 by the way. More than 3 tiers the speed of sound. You cannot break the sound barriers, I think, in this plane, because the plane breaks first, as you just saw. But in theory, should be in War Thunder, maybe the 6th tier, I don't know. And here you are, that's indeed a very very old-fashioned plane, and also an enemy that's punishing for the arrogance of fielding such a relic in the Cold War. You see how the jet maneuvers well, despite the speed, these planes are surprisingly maneuverable. Now this one is also fully upgraded, I think it helps. It's a twin engine, looks fairly big, probably a ground attack plane of some sort. It's probably a player, by the way, in which he maneuvers, and also his positioning wouldn't make sense if it were an AI. Oh, we have a friendly that's also chasing him. Is he coming behind me? Indeed he is. Wait a second, this is dangerous. He cannot turn as well as me, that's certain. So now heading towards the ground. Bit of a dangerous maneuver, and unfortunately it was a meteor, and also it just killed me. Maybe I should have stayed in the earlier tiers. But I must keep trying. Let's waste all the money here in these days. I can no longer feel the Yak 30 because I'm out of money. I guess we'll be back to the earlier tiers very soon. I usually can do a killing at this level, but I guess it's not my day. Take off again. As a British meteor, I've got to find new respect for that thing, I guess. Still 2 deaths. Already 2 deaths, I know. Lots of skilled pilots in the morning. Yeah, someone's asking for help. I guess that meteor is giving trouble to him also. He seemed indeed skilled. I don't know what kind of maneuver he pulled off. Cover the bombers in F3. The kill will come, I'm sure it will. You have to remain steadfast in the harder times. Maybe also if I head towards the objective it would be much better. Just still the friendly bombers. Couple of AIs over there. Our team is capturing objective A, I guess the meteor spiked the bullet. Didn't read the player name. I guess it's got to have been Ceylon Flyboy because he's the only one with a player kill, and that would be me. He also died twice already. So we're actually even in that regard, only that he's also responsible for one of my deaths. Well, I also have 1 kill, actually, the kill of myself when I oversped the aircraft. Now going 600, almost 700. Let's increase our speed. Hi Nix, you're back. So I went to play the Jets now. Wanted to go for a change of pace. I haven't been lucky up to now. Been totally destroyed by a meteor. The British famed meteor. And now heading again towards the objective. Let's see how it goes. I recently upgraded, thanks to the money earned from the earlier American tiers, I recently upgraded this plane to the max, the LA-15. It's got everything, engine, weapons, cover. I'm also now carrying ammunition that seems to work in a similar manner to the one we use on the Buffalo. It's mixed with incendiary bullets and part of a armor-piercing charge. So I want to see how it performs, but up to now I haven't been lucky. Destroyed my own plane once when overspeeding it, and the other time that guy got the best of me. But maybe we'll manage to turn the tide. Let's see if that thing is indeed an enemy. Our team is capturing. Good. I wanted to go to something faster because that map was so slow. Only met bombers from time to time. So let's see if that is an enemy. Now going 700, you have to keep a very close eye on the speed, as we recently learned. Well, you actually should keep an eye on the speed over there, but it's so convenient to have everything written like so. We're capturing the zone now, because apparently we're in the zone. I didn't even notice, I was just chasing the guy. 800. Let's try to slow down a bit. Simone, ciao! Ben trovato, è un po' che non ti si vede. Ti aspettavo ieri per fare... no, che era? Domenica, le macchine. Non sei venuto. He's the resident driving expert of the stream. We also played together in Assetto Corsa. He's just as good with the game. No, we played Project Cars, never mind what they said. He's just as good with the game as Nix is with this. And I thank them both for showing up so often on the stream. They've been great support, really. But now I'm leading the objective, and this guy doesn't seem to be coming any closer. So I better go back a minute. Domenica ero via. Beh, ma immaginato che fosse una cosa simile. Lo conosci questo gioco, War Thunder? È gratuito e anche questo è parecchio bello da fare in realtà virtuale. Let's check out that thing over there. That's very inviting. And also check the speed, of course. No, that's another friendly pilot. Also using a virtual system, it seems. What's he doing with a BF-110? These are the 50s, my man. What's that B formation over there? Cover the bombers, okay. Dovremmo farcela una partita insieme anche a questo. È parecchio coinvolgente, fatto così in realtà virtuale. Now capturing the zone. This is even more half empty than the last match. Let's just capture for now and see what happens. Thank you, Nix, thank you for speaking the word of the house once more. Well, I'm still new to this streaming world, but I must say I start to enjoy it. It's a good occasion to show what you really enjoy. And meet interesting people, as case in point I have already. I actually felt the urge to start and do this for making VR more known. Many people tend to disregard this technology, and this is holding it back. In my opinion, it's a real shame. Okay, I see the objective is no longer capturing, so presumably an enemy. This must be the work of an enemy stand. Let's see if we can find the enemy stand. Maybe that thing. I believe that's the friendly from before, strangely flying so low. Am I overspeeding right now? No, it's just 300. I saw the vibration, I got worried. But here's the enemy, okay, so once more it's coming from behind. It's bound to be very not good. It's also like a fairly modern American plane, I guess. Wouldn't try to hazard a guess. Well, this is more promising than before. Let's see how it goes. Now accelerating. I should be in principle at least as fast as him, having finally fully upgraded this plane. And in fact I am, probably even faster. So this is looking very, very promising. Let's hope for the best. You're supposed to chase him for a while in Hero 5. You don't shoot straight away because you'll end up missing. But still, this is too inviting. Maybe a bit more. Some more seconds. And I guess... No, he's moving. Will you stop a minute? I have to kill you, man. And thank you for coming to the party. Is he dead? I broke part of the surfaces. I can clearly see the wing is broken, but it seems to be still keeping in there, so we'll have to go for another salvo. You see how combat in jets is. It's never over until you see him down. Got much more speed to spend. You can do a lot of things that earlier planes can only dream of. And now I guess you are indeed finished, my man. I broke the other wing too. How can you still be in there? Well, not for long. Set him on fire. That was Jim Lyons in an F9F. So an F9F is indeed an American plane, right? It's not British. Is it the Phantom? No, I don't think it's the Phantom. It didn't look like a Phantom. Okay, finally got the first kill in Hero 5, so it's not completely a waste. That's my ammo, by the way. 120 rounds. You don't have much ammo in this thing. I start. Thank you for liking my stream. Well, yeah, it wasn't bad. He fought a little, but didn't seem very prepared. Maybe I took him by surprise. I don't know if I should even just already resupply. You have so few ammo on this airplane, but... Let's check that, at least, first. Possibly an enemy. How's my speed? Going 500. I'm slightly overreading, but not by much. $700. I'm starting to go into hyperspace now. The effect from Star Wars comes up. It's like the Millennium Falcon. Even the cockpit looks a little similar. Close the throttle lest I overspeed and brake completely by myself like I did earlier. Not completely. What is this? What is this? What is that? He's landing currently, and he's landing at a friendly base, so I guess it's a friendly. And I also guess I might as well land too. Since we're here, I mean, let's land it. I love a full ammunition in that way. Now, landing this thing isn't the easiest thing in the world. I think many planes from this era actually were supposed to utilize a parachute for stopping. But the air brake the LA-15 has is almost as good. So going around like this I should already lose a lot of speed. I'm now going 500. And now I should... Well, start air braking. Flaps down one notch. I'm still very high though. Lower the gear. Seems to have run out of a runway. Did I break the flaps? No. Let's try not to land on top of the fateful wire. What's this ominous sound? I wouldn't know. Oh, I'm too fast, 450. I don't know about this. It's a bit of a strange landing. And in fact, it broke the plane, but I don't know why. I don't know why it crashed. It seemed well aligned. Okay, let's keep wasting money, that's also good. I resupplied the plane, mind you. Yeah, era veramente smodata. Era esagerata. Aggiungerei anche questo. Ma che ce frega. A noi ci regalano l'aereo di livello 5. We have money to spend. We don't care. Ooh, look, it's an Il-28. With a... What kind of flag is that? I don't know that flag. So you have bought the red star and the flag of an enemy nation. Pay more respect to the homeland. My tovarish. Look like an African flag, maybe. I don't know. Why did it have to break like that? I mean, I was fast, but it wasn't a wrong landing. What do we have in front of us? Now I have to kill 2 people to go even with my deaths. 2 of them caused by myself, because I guess by playing so much the lower tiers I lost my touch. I no longer can feel the force. And apparently you do need to fly these strange devices. $370. Shittiest land this side of Berlin. Bliat. Praise the motherland. So did you know about the Western spy that flew in a Soviet bomber? What did he do? He released his bombs at the last moment, and suddenly an entire company of tanks lost sight of them, and that turned the sight of battle their way. These blasted Western spies. Destroy the enemy surveillance aircraft in C5. Let's switch topic, I think it's better. C5, well, that's definitely in range, especially with a team that goes 800 kilometers per hour. The sun doesn't look as strong as it should be. Maybe the Earth lost its orbit, now it's going far away. No longer generates enough glare to be a problem. That's the air surveillance plane, 670. I can easily climb to him. This air surveillance plane in Eurofire, I don't know if you played this era, they tend to be extremely dangerous because they do have a rear gun. It's usually very strong, so I better approach it in the correct way. There's already one guy doing it, it seems. I guess the surveillance plane is the slower one, currently leaving a very visible contrail, or should I say chemtrail, since he's a capitalist and all. You better not poison our comrades. You will pay the ultimate price. You can easily judge the distance by looking towards the contrail. There you are. It's indeed a fairly big plane, but we do have the power to bring him down. He also has the power to bring me down. But that would suck, honestly, so I better not think about it. Yeah, he starts to shoot. I think he's dying, but it's a bit early to say. I'm leaking a bit of oil. And apparently suffering damage, yeah. I set him on fire. His ammo definitely seems well. My friend is also damaged. Unless that is, I'm looking at the bomber. Because if I'm looking at the bomber, that thing is still airworthy, and it sucks. I would better go for another pass, but I don't think so. It seemed clearer colored. Yeah, that's clear. That's clear, that's the bomber. It's still in flight. Let's hope not for long. Because my engine is already a bit not in the best condition in any way. And now it's shooting me again. Let's try and accelerate more. This must be my second kill, otherwise I'll never catch up with the deaths. Ah, I'm losing speed. $340. I'm overeating and leaking both fuel and oil, not the best of situations, but as long as I stay up here I'm going to try for him. And losing speed. No, not quite. Slowly accelerating despite the angle. Will be a tough chase. No, now I'm losing it. Let's accelerate a bit. 300. 330. I'm much slower. That's the problem, because if I try and go at this height, it's bound to escape. With my damaged engine I can no longer catch up. Still, if my engine gives out at this altitude I can still easily glide back to base, but no, never mind that. He's escaping. He's escaping. I was sure I had set him on fire, and actually also scored a little because of the damage, but he's not going to die, I guess. Yeah, I know, Nix, it's too late. It's too late, I cannot catch to him. It's hopeless. Not with a damaged engine, I'll have to land again. And I hope not mess up for the second time. I usually don't mess up when landing. Wait a second, what is this? Friendly, okay, he's chasing. Look at him, so proud. With his working engine, chasing the guy already damaged. I guess I'll get the assistance on his kill at least. I wonder what kind of plane was that. It didn't look Russian. We were flying with the Chinese, but it looked like an American model, actually. So, where is the base? Won't take long, I promise. Not at this speed. But I also see another prospective target. Let's see if it's an enemy. I'm much faster than him. Even with the damaged engine I am. What's he doing? Shots from the ground. We can completely disregard those. I cannot exceed 600 at this moment, it appears. So these guys are engaged in a battle. And currently going very low. And I guess not so fast. Release these bombs. Over the base, so that's bound to be a big bomb. Probably quite vulnerable. And slow indeed. Let's see how it goes. Want to get a kill on this spawn? Yes. Maybe that's already enough. No, apparently not. Well, he's feeling the heat. Now I think he's going down. Come on. No. No. It's an old-fashioned plane. It's not a jet like mine. Propeller-driven, actually. The wing is gone. What do you want to do, man? It was just an A2D1. Okay. Well, second kill, I guess. Not the one I wanted, but still a kill. And also we're very close to the landing spot now. Let's try not to mess up again. Qui in chat quando abbiamo giocato insieme in live. Aspetta, è vero, mi hai mandato un video. No, purtroppo mi sa che non l'ho visto. È vero, perché me l'avevi mandato in chat, non me l'avevi mandato con Messenger. E dopo me lo sono scordato. Mi dispiace. Mi dispiace, non l'ho visto. Eri tu che giocavi? Beh, siamo ancora in tempo. Che poi non ho guardato la chat dopo, capito? Me lo ricordo pure che me l'hai mandato, ora che me l'hai detto. Me lo dovresti pure rimandare, perché non credo di poter rivedere la vecchia chat. Non facilmente almeno. Mandamelo su Messenger, è la cosa migliore. Anche, perché no? Perché no? Mandamelo su Steam. Sono su Steam comunque, io l'ho preso da Steam, War Thunder. Ha anche il software esterno, ma io l'ho preso da Steam. Ok, repaired in 20 seconds. Now we started to climb a bit. 1800s, 2 kills, 3 deaths. If I hadn't died like a silly man, I'd be even. Cancerous, you say? In what sense? I imagine it can be a threat. Well, but to a plane such as mine, come on. That cannot be ranked as highly as this. It's a propeller-driven plane. I guess it's at least much slower. Looked really anachronistic, seen from behind at least. While tearing it to pieces. I mean, that's bound to happen, but how can he follow a jet? Back in the air, with some pride recovered. Which grid square, my man? I wish I knew. Ah, he's clicking the objective, okay. He's trying to bomb it, I guess. Yeah, but why are you bombing the one right by the airfield? That's not a good strategic idea. There was one much more easily reached. Not a bad kill considering I had a badly damaged engine. So I should have got some points from breaking part of the surveillance plane. Now going 600. Briskly accelerating. Let's check these guys. There's a lot of movement over there. And not just the formation. Also down below. Destroy the bombers. B6, so I have to destroy the bombers. Go, go, go. I like that part. I like destroying the bombers, as you know. Thank you, Zach. I'll look at the video as soon as I finish this thing, so I don't forget this time. Eccolo. Really shooting at them appears. Let's hit the same ones. Ah, they're going for the dive now. Oh, wait a second, these are friends. These aren't the bombers I have to destroy, these are guys I have to protect. Which makes that guy, actually, an enemy, and he's now behind me. That's a very, very bad misunderstanding from me. Completely wasted my first attack opportunity. He's also under fire at the moment, so it's not always lost. More power, give me more power. Can't follow my man. I done better than you. He's gaining though, he's gaining. What sort of plane is that? So flat looking. Ah, shit. Let's go for a Pugachev maneuver of sort. I'll try to surprise him. The Cobra of Pugachev. I am Russian after all. Well, okay, maybe I'm not piloting the correct type of airplane to pull it off, but I can try. I wish I could, Simone, I wish I had bricks on this thing. The Russians never put the best weapons in their planes. Ah, it doesn't relent. What's this beep? Hey, thank you for liking my post, whoever you are. I cannot read your name, and sorry. I'm a little in a bit of a pinch. Here he is. Here he is. He's past me. He's past me. That's good, I guess. Where am I going? 390. But that's not the same guy. Well, I hope he lost me at this point because I'm following another guy. That's a different plane. Very American looking, so our enemy. Since this is the Cold War and all. Friendly bomber over there. And the other guy seems to have disappeared. I wonder what happened. Now, let's see if I can accelerate well enough. I am very fast. Flats. You always say flats, Nix, but are you really sure I should lower my flats in a jet when going at 700 kilometers per hour? I think the flats would probably break. And here you are. It's a big friend, so that makes him the enemy, I guess. Took some damage from the guy, but I see it saying yellow. No, I think, okay, the flats have their place in a combat. I'm afraid this plane also doesn't have the combat position, only positioning for landing. So it will be quite disadvantageous, I would think, to open the flats during combat. What do we have? 1, 2, 1, 2. I followed that one because it's easier to follow, not because below 400. Okay. Well, I guess I need better combat awareness. Thank you for making me notice. Luche d'artiglieria e via. Si torna agli albori del combattimento aereo. Come no? Eccolo qua. Eccolo lo stronzo che cazzo. Che. What? No! What happened? Did I drop the connection? No. What the shit? No, I was winning. I would have got him. What the hell happened? Gaijin, why must you do that to me? How could you do that to me? It's completely ridiculous. Okay, let's go back in. I'm sorry guys, I don't know what happened. It's completely unrelated to my actions. Wait a second. I'm back in the air actually. That's new. Ha! Ha ha! Did I die? No. Okay, so it's all good I guess. Too bad I lost my kill. There was a sure kill coming. No, wait a second. Aspetta Simo, no, mi ha rimesso dentro. Peccato che chissà dove sta. Metti a stare sulla coda. This really sucks dude, Gaijin. Why? How could you do this to me? I'm your strongest supporter when you do things right, but this is too much. Let's try to decelerate a little. That looks very enemy-like to me. Maybe we'll make it good. The other guy just crashed, so he's bloodied his hands, and yet he's a friend, so never mind what I said. First time it happened to me. I don't think it ever happened. At least it being unrelated to other problems, because sometimes my provider drops the connection, and by the way, I hate you Fastweb, but I never stop saying it, but this time the connection was still good, because the stream didn't interrupt itself, just the game dropped me. Okay, this is good. That's the friendlies, so that's by mothers of exclusion. The enemy, another propeller-driven plane. Why are there so many old planes in this match? It's going to be destroyed by the bomber AI. That would be quite a sight. Also, he seems to have a total disregard for safety, because if I maneuver like him, I would end right into the ground. Of course, he doesn't have the speed I have. Amazing power of the modern jet engine, so I can do circles around him and probably eventually catch him. There's a lot going on, really. Maybe that's the reason I dropped my connection. The server overloaded or something. Bit of a dangerous maneuver to point towards the ground at this height in a jet. I should work. And also, it better, because apparently he's making a killing that guy. Already brought down like 3 ground attack planes, so the ones I'm supposed to protect. Let's try to avenge them at least. This looks very promising. Is he the same guy as before? He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. This guy. But I've got the advantage of technology. Where are you now? He even managed to put himself behind me. But he doesn't have the energy, I believe, to follow for much longer. Let's go straight up. That's bound to put something between the wheels of that guy. Never mind that. Don't have the time. Holy shit. Holy shit. Here comes the rescue. Graham, AI control plane. In the MiG-15, no less. Still doesn't relent. Probably I would have to outrun him. It's a P-40, no less. Now he can no longer follow it since he's lost too much speed. We trained him well. This is the time we start going up, because he certainly can't go as fast as me. And presumably make the time. But never mind that, he's very able to keep himself behind. I don't know what happened. Probably the engine got damaged. Now I'm passed by the friendly, but not the thing I wanted to see. I'm starting to reevaluate my life choices. Should I have played the American nation from the very beginning? Because that is the performance of a P-40 compared to a jet of the Soviet-Russian era. And it's surprising, to say the least. I'm trying to save my butt at the moment, but the engine is leaking and is at least as fast as me. The AI is predictably completely useless because he stands there. And what are you doing, Graham? What the hell are you doing? But he cannot follow me that well. I guess he's damaged too, so I saw some smoke coming from his airplane. Not as much as mine. It's not over yet. No, that's the MiG-15. Where did he go? Ah, maybe that's... No, because it's not smoking. Disappeared into thin air. I sure hope he doesn't reappears behind me by saying nothing personal, kid. Just like the meme. So I go hi hi and he kills me. I don't know, man. I didn't take a good look at it. Was too busy trying to keep myself alive. I guess I better try to go and repair. We aren't too far from base. Yeah, I better. I agree with you. Yeah. Also, the guy is calling to the map. Yeah, they're fighting currently, but they cannot do anything. But man, the power of that P-40 was amazing. Amazing. What year was that plane from? Certainly older than mine. Okay. We should be make it safely back to base. Also will be easier to land since we're going so slow. Oh, look at the contours of the friendly guardians. P39. P39N. Well, I could have been slower, mind you. 340 is a bit much. Pretty off center. And touchdown! Okay, sure. I won't do the Tokyo slide thing because it seems to tend breaking my plane. But unless I turn a little this way, I think I run out of a runway. Not that this game makes much of a problem of it, generally speaking. Yeah, we're probably also going down the hill, because there is a hill, but this doesn't ruin your landing. Okay. Let me Google that thing. P39N. Well, you rarely make mistakes, Nils, don't worry. Where is the cursor? It's repairing, I mean my plane. P39N 0, here it is. No, but that's a Russian plane. We're against Americans. It's also a gift rank 3. No, it's named differently, I guess. No, that's impossible. I don't know what that was. Well, let's take off again. It was dangerous, that I can vouch for. Let us take off again. Good thing he didn't get me in the end. Would have made my score even more irredeemable for this mission. I haven't had much luck up to now. Well, but Era 5 is harder, so it's kind of to be expected. And in the sky we are. I guess I'll eventually be able to reach Era 6. It won't take much longer. The problem, of course, is always grinding the credits. But, if once I unlock the plane, I go and play mostly the American lower tier planes, I guess it won't take that long. Well, but it did hit me, in fact. I was fairly damaged. Maybe you mean only part of his guns did hit me. And that's likely. Still almost broke me to pieces. There's a lot of movement over there. No objective though. It's possible some of these are enemies bombing the ground units, I guess. In theory at least. Cover the bombers and supremacy in D5. Well, D5 is straight this way, so we're passing through them in either case. Could it have been really a rank 3 plane? I don't know, a rank 3 shouldn't have been able to climb like that. Probably it was at least a rank 4. I see, so we're playing the Cold War, yet if they utilize older planes it's bound to be a little anachronistic like that. So the Americans can actually have Russian planes, even though it's the 50s, so it's extremely unlikely. That's a friendly. Okay, MiG-22. That doesn't look Russian. Okay, okay. In my opinion, the one in front is the enemy, but no longer so sure. Besides, I've lost him, so we better follow this one. And he's indeed the enemy. Yeah, very clearly so. Okay, let's make an attempt at this. No. You see how they are afraid to turn completely towards the ground. It's practically suicide on these planes. He's losing a lot of speed. I wonder why he's doing that. Did I hit him? No, I don't think so. But apparently, no, it's not going down. Where are you going? That's not helping it. I'll have to go for a turn. I lost him. There's also another one. And here is him. Oh, he's almost... Well, he's not yet in my tail. Also, he's followed by an AI. Could be of help, I guess. That's the friend, you're right. Is that one? I sure... I cannot risk it really, because if that's the enemy and I don't follow him, I'm basically dead. So I'll assume he is. I'm not sure by now, by the way. Yeah, it's too much attempting to keep himself behind me. Okay, came out of the turn. There's another one, by the way. This is a very messy combat situation. Still no one's managed to hit me for the time being, so it could be worse. I guess I'll go after this guy. Now I'm going 643, and that's American, right? The Delta wings tell American to me. I wish I could identify well planes from this era, but the labels would have come out already if he wasn't. Yeah, it's certainly an enemy. It has better apparently, but we'll see. The final challenge in this kind of combat is always speed. Shall we? Yeah, let's do it. And he's dead. Hi, guy. Eee. Courtesy of... I couldn't read the name. Well, it probably appear when it's down, which is very, very likely to happen soon. I don't think you can recover from such a spin, especially when your wing is clipped. He's trying though. He's trying. He's loaded up to a point. And now he's down. Ah, that's his parachute. Okay, so that's only the plane. And where's my score? Maybe it was already given. But 3500 in any case, it's not bad. Okay, Nix, good work. Have a nice working day. And here's another one, I guess. This is the interesting part of the battle, it seems. 520. Since overreading this engine is practically impossible. very unlike the earlier era planes. Slow down a bit, but not too much. There's a cover objective. Okay, well, I'm not going to give up the chase. There's another one. Ooh, look at the MiG-21. That's so cool. I want the MiG-21. I'll eventually unlock it, I guess. At this time, that's probably my objective. I want to unlock that plane. A bomber coming the other way. That's one enemy. Another propeller plane. Should be an easy prey in principle. Although I've been proven wrong today, so I better not say too soon. Now the bomber is chasing him. Well, the Il-28 has pretty good guns, I know because I own it. But it, of course, cannot follow a fighter, even if propeller driven. Appears to be the same model as before. I don't know if it's the Russian P-40 really. I guess it could be for what I know. No. And again it gets... They managed to get behind the view because they also go a lot slower. And it's not easy to do this kind of combat. Probably it's the first time it happens to me this much, encountering so many propeller planes in a jet. The bomber never relents, he still wants to get the cookie. Well, I would be very humbled by his skill if he managed such a feat. The Il-28 is very, very unwieldy. Now this looks good because it's very low and slow. But never mind, look how he climbs. It's like it's attached to a piece of string. It's really surprising, the performance of the plane. Maybe the pilot's just very, very good. It's damaged in any case. What an interesting flight path. You can easily see it by the leak of the engine. And I guess you're finished, man. So he's off his Air Force in a P-39. So once again, I was wrong and Nix was right. It was a P-39. I'll have to send him a message about it. He was right. And the name of the player, where it is. It's scoring 1500s. 5 deaths. I guess he wasn't so good in there. Is that the Il-28? Yes. Sex Psycho. Maybe I should name myself Italian Madman or something like that. Now, the feeling of resupply is strong. I have 186 rounds. Well, it would be certainly enough for another engagement. Still, I won't go deep in enemy territory, I guess. Where are we heading now? Towards the enemy territory. No, I don't want to do it. I'll finish. It will probably end up with me out of ammo and surrounded by enemies. It has already in the past. And there's a lot to resupply. After that kind of combat, you usually better do. So, where's the airport? Here it is. Looks like a fairly easy landing. Or sway up. Really don't have easy landings in Era 5. These things are just so blasted fast and the brakes never seem to work. Let's open the air brake at least. I lowered the flats at the very last moment and also snake a bit, so it slows down. 400. Gear. The gear helps with slowing down also. I'd also switch plane so I can show you something more interesting or different in any case. Lower the flaps now and let's see how it goes. While praying, of course, all the gods of landing. There's a guy taking off, by the way, so I better not go center line. I don't think you have collisions activated in the airfields, but just in case. It's the same in any case. It's not that realistic in that regard. Okay, I didn't bounce as much this time. Going 260. Braking. 230, yeah, and definitely ending up after the runway. But good thing is that the slope this time goes upwards, it seems. No, never mind that. I would have needed 2 airports in a row to be able to stop. Probably would be okay to the game nonetheless. It seems to let it slide. Let's see if I've been so lucky, because the airfield now is kilometers away. He's opening the canopy, I guess it's a good sign. But not good enough. I'll have to go back a little. That's very, very unrealistic. At this point I guess should be a crater in the ground. But it is a game after all. That's a bit humbling. Shameful display, like they say in the Total War series of games. I'll have to limp back to base. Hey guys, I'm here. Wait for me. Yes, the slope. I wish I had the slope the other way. Oh look! An helicopter! Hi Brent! Get them for me! Well, the sight of the helicopter was a nice reward in any case. And now we're at base. What's he doing with an helicopter, by the way? It's a bot, it's just a bot. I think I can switch plane now. Right, shouldn't penalize me if I do. Well, no, it says bail out from the aircraft. That's not what I want to do. You have to wait for it to rearm, I guess. Now I've been passed through. Yeah, collisions definitely are deactivated. I want to pick my second favorite plane from this era, where it still says bail out, but now I'm not bailing out, it's stopped on the ground. My second favorite plane, which is the crazy looking and crazy performing LA200, unless that is I want to use the new for me MiX-9, but that's slower rated. And I don't have any of the module. No, let's go with the LA200. The LA200 is quite a beast. It's a twin-engined heavy jet that can go almost 1000 km per hour, and has, believe it or not, it has a radar. That's actually been improved, I believe, in one of the latest patches, and now works fairly well. Let me tell you in advance that this will probably be the last sortie. I have about another 15 minutes left in the stream. I was able to keep it going for longer this morning, but it's still kinda hard these days for me. So let's see if we can make the last sortie a good one. It's a bit disconcerting to have the radar floating over there in VR. I guess it wouldn't have been too hard to program the game so it appeared on the actual scope, but unfortunately. So you see, now you can really spot the planes on the radar. It didn't used to be like this. When I first unlocked this plane, was about, I believe this summer, you could only see big things on it, like bombers and the like, but the fighters didn't show up. Now they do. So it's way more useful. And look how this thing accelerates. We're already 460. It's also got very hefty cannons that do horizontal damage. Let's see if it tells us about the caliber of them. 37mm. That's basically almost, well, not tank sized, but can do some damage, believe it. When you're shooting bombers, you see them completely going in pieces, and it's very satisfying. Let's hope I can manage to show you that. What do we have at the moment? Cover the bombers, cover the surveillance aircraft. Well, I don't want to cover anything, I want to destroy Now, where am I? Okay, heading towards enemy territory. Let's try it for it since it's the last sortie. We can risk it. 660. Should be able to go over 900 in this without dangers. You also have a co-pilot, by the way. You tend to forget about him because he never speaks. It's not like in rally where he's constantly telling you to turn left, turn right. He just kind of exists. It also, I believe, is supposed to operate the radar, which he doesn't do because the radar is on the other way. So it's a bit... it takes you out of the game. Let's just leave it at that. But you cannot ask for too much, I guess. Ah, now he's looking my way. You know what? I never looked at his face. It's a good texture. Yeah. My god. It's like having a mannequin right by you. It's also not holding the controls, but I guess that's to be expected. Perhaps also the lever should move like mine, I guess. Strange things to behold in VR. Maybe you don't know it, but I'm also a disembodied head, completely detached from the body, so I'm like I believe it's called a nuke kabe, Japanese yokai, where the head detaches from the body and floats around, even within a plane's cockpit, I guess. Yeah, nuke kabe. The one with the neck that stretches is instead called the Rockero Kubi, something like this. Rocket Kubi. No, I don't remember. It's been a while since I've written a thesis on that. The Japanese yokai. Rokuro Kubi, yeah. They're females, by the way. There's a lot of female Japanese monsters, but I bet you know that. Now going 1000 kilometers per hour. Well, good thing we didn't overspeed. We're going exactly 1000 kilometers per hour. You better believe it. This thing's a beast. And also, we have just met an enemy that I believe we won't have any problem to chase. Unless I kick my radar away, like I was going to do. Unfortunately, he's very aware of my presence, judging by the way he's moving. So, in a turning fight, I don't know how it's going to be, because yes, I love the power advantage, but of course this thing is heavy. There's another one, by the way. I'll follow him instead. Seems a bit easier. Okay. You're not going to hit me like that. Now this is a very dangerous maneuver, one that will bring, I believe, us back to about 700. No, I much overestimated it. I'm going 600 at the moment. The fact that there's two of them will probably make my stream end in a fiery ball of fire, but we won't know for sure. Let's try to the very last moment. And of course it did. Well, okay. A little bit of an inglorious ending, but it was fun, I believe. It was a funny, long and involved stream. I'm also glad to have so many of you guys watching. You've been really supportive just by your presence. Thanks to whoever commented and thank also to whoever didn't. Just your presence is enough. I'm actually starting to enjoy the streaming of War Thunder more than any other game, because it's so various. There's always something happening. Whereas in Sturmwijk, hey, I earned 48,000 credits on that. There's always something happening. In Sturmwijk or DCS or the other more serious simulators, you end up wasting so much time. Okay, I also unlock the other P38, which I cannot unlock, by the way. But I can start researching. I already researched this one also. So, can I start researching tier 3? We're speaking about the American planes, of course. Apparently not, because you're supposed to buy this first. Luckily I can afford it, even if I don't put it into service. See, that will allow for me to actually research the third rank. Here it is. And between the Corsair and the Mustang, I guess it's not really a challenge. I'll finally be able to fly the Mustang, probably by tomorrow. Unlock some stuff, but I'm afraid I won't have enough money now to buy. Yeah, of course I haven't. Good, good. It's so easy to unlock stuff at rank 2. Okay. So again, thanks for watching. Let's try to say a more formal goodbye. I'll also put a bigger view on my face. Oh, I clicked the wrong one. Okay. And I'll be back, I believe, this afternoon, if nothing comes up, and I believe it shouldn't. So in about 5 hours, you can watch me again if you enjoyed. I hope you will. And as always, ciao for Italy, like and subscribe. Bye. Thank you, Nix. Yeah, I went for the Mustang, of course. See you in the afternoon. Bye bye.